What it do with the business is?
Hey now.
Man, you were tuned in to another episode of the Can I Talk My Shift podcast with your boy, Sam Walker Inspo, and the lovely Lashawn G, the LG. Yeah, what's going on?
Nothing, love. How are you?
Man, I'm chilling.
How is your week so far?
The week is weekend.
The week is weekend. Yeah. More importantly, how are you? How are you doing?
You know, I've been feeling indifferent about a lot of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been feeling indifferent. But overall, I'm healthy, right? Everyone in my family is good. You're good. Rena Bina is good, you know. I don't really have any complaints. I've just been indifferent about a lot of things happening in the world. All these things that get thrown at us every which way on social media and conversation. And yeah. What about you?
I'm all right. I think I'm very much so in a neutral space.
Okay.
I'm not too high or too low. I'm just, even.
Are you balanced? Are you at least balanced?
Today.
Okay.
Today.
What had you unbalanced before?
Well, we had a heck of a week last week.
That's a fact.
Heck of a week. And it was a little unbalanced and unnerving and emotionally draining. And I'm glad that by the end of the week, it started to, look up and turn around and give me an opportunity to balance out again. And now I feel like we're at the end of the month already.
Yeah, we are. It was just November 1st. And then it was Lil Mama's birthday. And then it was my birthday. And then we was back in the A.
Yes.
And now we here podding.
Yeah.
And it's about to be that day.
Yeah.
The holidays coming up. And then it'll be December.
Yes.
And then it'll be 2024 after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
time's moving.
Yeah, time is on crack. What?
That's a hell of a way to put it.
It just means time is flying, Stereotypical crackhead just be on
crackhead
10
fly
all the time. And
they do be like superhero, like they be jumping from buildings and getting hit by cars.
That's how the year goes by is pew.
This woman I'm with, y'all gotta understand, boy. She is something else.
So, anyway, we are here. We're at the end of the month, and welcome. I know you hear a lot of our banter at the beginning of the episode because we got to do check-ins, and we advise you to do and encourage you to do check-ins with yourself and each other. So that's what you get from us.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man, because I look at all the formalities when I looked at or when I study other people's strategies and what they pod about and their format and all of that, right? And one of the things I'm noticing is that, I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to feel boxed in. I don't want the space to feel boxed in. I don't even want our dialogue and how we approach you all who are viewing and listening to feel boxed in or feel like this is robotic. So I'm learning to really just embrace who we are, the hiccups, the not so polished delivery. You know what I'm saying? Just being who we are, man, and showing the ascension and the elevation and putting it on Front Street. You know what I mean?
Yes, because this is, we got to say it is the number one podcast for emotional intelligence, personal accountability, and elevation.
Self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So we do thank you for joining us. We do thank you for subscribing, commenting, sharing this out, because you know what? The more you share it out, the more people get to see what's going on over here in our little corner of the internet.
Yeah. Yes. And we realized, we checked ourselves, man. We had to check the energy signature that we've been putting out to y'all. Because although we've given you some really high quality episodes, I think internally we were still questioning if this was something that was authentic for us.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, your boy is authentic, wifey is authentic, and we really here, man. So if you hearing my frequency right now, you're like, yo, something a little different about them. That's really what it is. Yeah. We know what's up. We know we in the space. We know we're at home, and we're going to continue to put our home out to you all.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
I think we just put a lot of expectations on ourselves.
Very true.
And we were just trying so hard to make that deadline, make that thing happen, and it's like, no. And
then come with a bigger space, scoping out spaces, trying to make a different set. And it was just kind of like, man, we doing a lot right now.
And not to say that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to.
Right.
Right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just really what it is.
So here we are.
So what we chopping it about?
Today, we are talking about a topic that I feel like a lot of people will really get. And if they don't feel it, it's going to be very new to them. And so they may have to listen to the episode twice. So if you ever see me like looking down or looking to my right, I'm always looking at some notes. So that's just what it's going to be. But today we are going to be talking about a topic around emotions. So this is definitely an emotional intelligence episode. And we're going to be talking about, is it a misunderstanding or is it just misdirected emotions?
In what regard though? Like
relationships.
So okay, so like a person's angry or something like that, or
a person is clingy.
Okay, so they're having a challenge.
They're having a challenge.
A relationship challenge.
Expressing themselves. Listening. Being attentive.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what that looks like first. You know, what does it actually look like? And then we're going to talk about some solutions as it pertains to first acknowledging if it's just a misunderstanding and there's one element of communication you need to implement, or if it's misdirected emotions and you really need to check yourself.
I always start there. Yeah. Even if a person thinks that they have checked themselves, I always end up going a little deeper.
'Cause you deep.
Water
deeper than the Mariana Trench.
Water sign, baby. It's what it is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so story time. All names, people, places
story time with
have
LG.
been omitted because it doesn't matter. So the people's names don't matter, who they are, what they do, where they are, doesn't matter. The point is we're talking about misdirected emotions or misunderstanding. So person A and person B are in a relationship. They've been in a relationship for an extended amount of time, meaning more than 6 months, more than 8 months, less than 2 years. And person A wants to get an understanding of, where do we go from here? What's up? Because I guess rightfully so, you should probably ask that if you've been dating.
Months?
I think so. Well, in this case, it's been over a year. In this particular case.
Oh, you said 6 months.
Well, I said an extended amount of time.
Okay.
So in this particular case, over a year. So
I mean, I was cool with the 6 months. I ain't saying that that's too soon. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of anyway, go ahead. It's a lot of factors that you got to think about, because what if they only spoke twice a week, every week for those 6 months?
Well,
you and I talked every day.
If their intention, if their intention is to intentionally date, then if all they can give is twice a week,
so the time don't matter. It's the intent. Okay, cool.
Totally. Because if you're just dating and it's free and casual and you both have the understanding, then the story wouldn't be needed to be told.
I got you. All right. So I'm following you though.
Okay, person A. Person A is at a place where they want to know what's going on with us. What's going on in the relationship? What are your intentions? Because I'm curious. And person B basically goes from 0 to 100.
Okay.
You're pressuring me. I don't understand. There's so much going on. What are you talking about? You keep bringing this up. You know, I don't even know what to call it, but they really are in defense mode. And so person A says, you know, whoa, slow down. Just want to know, what are your intentions? Because we're at a space where I would like to know. Okay. And person B, straight defense mode. Now, at this point, person B gets really overheated, I'm going to say. Overheated. And takes person A's words and verbiage to mean, I don't want to be in this anymore. And so that's what they take as understanding. And as a result, person A and person B are no longer together. Okay. So in this case, is it misunderstanding and or misdirected emotion?
You asking me?
I'm asking you.
We asking y'all.
I'm asking him, and we're asking you guys. Comment below. What do you think in that scenario it is? Is it a misunderstanding, or is it misdirected emotions? Or do you think it's a mixture of both?
Yeah. You know me, I like to get more context, but because it is an open conversation that we're using as example, then I just deal with the cards that I was dealt.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a little bit of both. It sounds like, you know, person B was reading between the lines, but also feeling like it wasn't directly, like the person A wasn't direct or wasn't speaking their language. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that this is a man and a woman.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So sometimes the languages that we speak get intermingled. You know, not saying that anybody's at fault, you know, just kind of hearing what you said. But going to 100 though, it's kind of like that's the thing that I'm looking at, like, all right, hold on. So is person B the man or the woman?
Person B is the man.
Is the man. Okay, so the man went 100 when the woman
asked the question,
which was, what are your intentions?
What are your intentions? Where are we as it pertains to our relationship?
Okay, well, all right, so now I'm looking at it like, if she asks, where are we? Then that means that they've had conversation before. Mm-hmm. So that's fair for her to ask. It's not like you just crept up out of nowhere and asked what was going on. You obviously laid some things out, right? To now ask, where are we?
Because it's been over a year.
Right. Because I don't think that's a question that you asked the first time.
Right.
Where are we? Unless that's something that you would ask again as like a check-in type question. Fair. You know, maybe dude just wasn't where she wanted him to be. Maybe he felt that, you know, maybe she left it like open for him to step in and really say what it is. You know, I think us as men, sometimes I can't really speak for all men. I can only speak for myself. I know if I'm in that situation, I've been in that situation, right, before. And it's kind of like I didn't know what I wanted. I'm just kind of just going with the flow. And that could have been the thing that was going on.
So you've been in a situation where you've been with someone for an extended amount of time, and this question has come up as maybe a check-in, like in this situation, and you still didn't know what you wanted?
I wasn't intentionally dating.
Okay. So that's the key.
Right. And that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Either the intent was lost, the intent was changed, or there was no intent. It was just, we just doing what we do.
Yeah.
You know? That's just what it sounded like to me. As far as the emotions, though, I mean, there's a lot of different emotions. What was going on with him in that day? Like, was there a passing of a family member? Did something happen with a friend? Did he lose a job? You know, did he have a run-in with something? Like, did something rattle him? You see what I'm saying? There's so many things that could have affected his mind that really had nothing to do with the situation. But at the same time, that's for him to manage, though.
Right. So also, person A asks if the space is open. Oh,
so you ain't say that.
For them to talk.
You ain't say that.
So even if something was going on, you know, stressful with person B, they said that the space was open.
Okay, so you basically saying person A did it right.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay, yeah, all right.
In my opinion, yes. They asked for the space. They were given the space. When they asked the question, they were hit basically with a barrage of, this ain't the time. Why are you bringing this to me? I don't know why you keep asking. I don't know. And ultimately, you keep asking this question, so that must mean you don't want to be with me.
Oh, well, nah, that was just kind of spun on his head. But honestly, she got her answer. She just missed it, or she wasn't looking for that to be the answer. She maybe wanted a yes or a no, but he said, I don't know. And that's his answer. So then person A, woman, needs to look at that and say, okay, well, that's not a yes because you didn't say yeah. So if you don't know, I got to make a decision then. And she was really looking for him to make a decision, right?
I think she was already in the mindset of, you know, if, I don't know, said behavior or said thing, said intentions or no intentions were in place, then it was time for her to skate.
Watch this. All right, here you go. She asked, what are we? Right?
I'm paraphrasing.
Okay, that's cool. But it don't got to be those direct words, those exact words. But in a nutshell, she's asking, what are we? To him, which then insinuates that she wants to be with him. And she's looking for him to confirm that.
Yes. Okay.
He didn't confirm it. Right? He didn't confirm it in the way that she would feel confirmed and confident in how she wanted to move forward. She got I don't know. And why are you bringing this to me? Right? Okay, so she got an answer. But at the same time, when she said, what are we? A better question may have been like, where are you at? Because you know where I'm at.
Quality questions.
Because that's accountability now.
Yeah.
When you say, what are we? It almost leaves room for another person to be like, what you mean, what are we? Like, we talked about this before. So just ironing out the question a little bit different gives you a different response.
Right.
So now if I say, yo, where are you at with things now? You know where I'm at. I want to be with you. Mm-hmm. I've been filling it out for like the last couple of months. Still really haven't gotten anything from you as far as like if we want to move forward and be together. I like what we doing, but you know where I told you where I want to be at. Mm-hmm. So where are you? I'm just saying that right there puts it all on whoever you asking the question to.
Right.
But when you say, what are we? You see what I'm saying? It just leaves so much room for fluff.
Right. Right.
And if we being direct and intentional and we understand ourselves, then we can ask those questions very direct.
Yes.
But we just can't put the expectation on the person to give us the answer that we want.
So this is a case of misunderstanding because maybe the right question could have been a better question could have been asked versus asking, where are we? And again, paraphrasing, mm-hmm. You know, it could have been a different question. Yeah. But there was a trigger for person B to say, you're stressing me out. You know, I got all this stuff going. Like, mm-hmm. It was a trigger for them to go there. Yeah.
I don't know if she would have got a different response from that question. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying tailoring those things allows you to hear different. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If I ask you, yo, for example, yo, what'd you have for lunch? Right? Very vague. Mm-hmm. But I said, yo, you went to lunch at 12, right? And so you went to lunch at 12? You're like, yeah. What time did you actually get your food though? And then you say, oh, it came at like 12:45. And I was like, was it good? And you say, yeah, what was the best part about your meal? See, now you're giving me specifics. Mm-hmm. I'm leading you to specifics because I want to know. Mm-hmm. But if I just ask you, yo, what'd you have for lunch? I'm negating all the different aspects that could have actually affected the meal that you had, right? So I'm gaining more understanding by asking more questions or better questions, right? And that's all I'm saying. So, again, tailoring the question is important on the person who wants the answer, who needs the answer.
Right.
But also, I'm not saying in his defense because, you know, I don't really know who we're talking about. It's almost like it was deflection. Mm-hmm. You know, you kind of skip out on accountability. At this point, I don't know their age, but, you know.
I mean, we know in what our generation.
Want, yeah, we know what we want. At the end of the day, man, if you want things to stay the same, then you just say that.
Yeah.
If you want things to be different, or if you feel like you're being pressured, which he said, he felt like he was being pressured, maybe you come back a day or two later. Or person A reiterates what he said, which was, well, you told me this was a cool time to do it.
Which she did.
Okay, well, then there it is, deflection.
Yeah, she did. She definitely said that. Yeah. And so, prime example of what it looks like to ask questions that aren't as specific as we would like them to be, or as they could be, as specific as they could be, so that you could get a more quality answer. Also, an example of deflection in a, I would say, pretty communicative relationship. That is a straight deflection fireball.
Yeah, see, that's why I said it's kind of, there's so much back story and information that's missing mm-hmm. to really kind of get a good silent answer.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of giving generalized answers, because if we have more backstory, because if he's always been a person that's been very communicative, if you've been a hothead, then you already know what's up.
Yeah.
See, that goes back on person A. So if you already knew that the man was a hothead this whole entire time, and now when he does the very thing that he's been doing this entire time, you try to weaponize that, but you already knew that. Not saying that it's wrong or right. I'm just saying you already knew that. So that can't be an excuse today.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because you already knew it. It's not like it just happened out the blue. You've already had some other instances where he was a hothead.
Yeah.
Dealing with you or dealing with other people. See what I'm saying? So we got to X that out. That don't count.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Okay. Wait, it doesn't count that he's a hothead?
That he went to 0 to 100.
Oh, okay.
Like,
because that's what he's been doing.
That's what he does.
Okay.
So you've been dealing with that. You see what I'm saying? For this entire time. You've been choosing to deal with that. But if now you're saying, yo, he went from 0 to 100 on me. Well, I mean, he been doing that. So, you know, how have you been navigating that?
Right.
How did you get your answers all the other times? If you never got your direct answers, well, then person A is actually on you. It ain't on him. He's been showing you who he is the entire time.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? If you've asked questions on other occasions and this person has gone from 0 to 100, not every time, but some of the times, did you ever get a real solid answer? Or did you just keep moving, hoping that he would actually give you an answer at some point?
Yeah.
And is that what led you to asking the question the way that you did? Because to me, it sounds like you was tiptoeing around that anger. What are we? Versus, what's up with you? I'm like, how are you feeling? You know, I'm ready to be with you. Where you at now? You see what I'm saying? Like, these are just the way that I'm seeing it.
Even with person A asking that, additionally asking the direct question of, what are your intentions? Where are you in this? And again, not having a whole lot of backstory, and we're not going to get into the backstory, but when things are good, they're really, really good. And when things are not, it's because of triggers.
Age-old stories.
And they're not good. And so I think you're right when you say, she's been experiencing that 0 to 100 throughout the relationship. So at this point, that particular experience of the 0 to 100 is nothing new. I think at the same time, though, if whatever she asked to get an answer around, are we moving forward in our relationship, was a trigger, then I think person B, the guy, has to take some accountability and say, let me be honest with myself first, and let me be honest with you.
I feel you on that. And you know what? I'm going to even go as so far to say I wholeheartedly agree with you. But let's stick with person A real quick, because this podcast is about self-accountability. And what that means is that even when we don't get direct answers, we still get answers from those people.
Right.
It may not be the answer that you're looking for, but you can still gather the information and take it and utilize it and draw a conclusion. So again, I go back to, it's a simple yes or no. After, are we together exclusively or not? Do you want to be with me and only me or not? Are we in an open relationship or not? Right? If you don't get direct answers and a person feels triggered, you don't have to put any stipulations and try to internalize it and say, oh, you trying to manipulate the situation. You trying to manipulate me. No, it could be that, or it could be that this person is not emotionally mature yet.
Yeah.
right? In some facets, I don't care how old you are. It doesn't mean that you mature. So now you take that immaturity as the answer for you because you say to yourself, well, I want to deal with a mature man. He's not a mature man. That's a no for me. There's your answer.
And there you have it.
He didn't give me a direct answer. I have to take that as a no. So that way my time is not being wasted any longer.
Right.
If he decided to come back and tell me, yes, now I understand who I'm dealing with, I actually have the power for myself to understand, is this who I want to deal with? In times where I'm asking for a specific answer or looking for an answer of clarity and you don't provide it, do I want to deal with that type of person? That's why I said you can always draw conclusions from the situations. Just because a person doesn't tell you yes or no doesn't mean that you can't get no answer from it. When you are confident in what you want and you know your intentions, you can see it.
Right. And that's a fact, Jack. Listen, thank you for joining us today on Can I Talk My Shift podcast.
Yeah, but Buddy do need some, he do need a little bit of, you got to work on that, man, because that ain't going to look too good later on.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was getting at when I was talking about the triggers. I mean, we all have them. We all have triggers that some of them we know exactly what presses it. Some of them we don't know what presses the trigger until it actually happens.
But what did it trigger though?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if it triggered anything more than it's like,
maybe it was a commitment trigger. I don't know. Could be. If somebody is in a relationship with another person and they've never really talked about or been in a relationship for an extended amount of time with someone, or they've gotten hurt in that long-term relationship and now they're with someone and that person, I'm not saying it happens every week. I'm not saying it happens, but you do check-ins with your partner.
Everybody don't.
Everybody doesn't. You should. But you do check-ins with your partner, let's just say every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever. And check in on how are you? Do you still want to be here? Are your intentions still the same? If that person is not used to that, getting that kind of communication, that's a trigger for them. They may not acknowledge it as a trigger, but it's a commitment trigger.
Okay.
And so if they aren't in the realm or on the journey of being in an intentional, exclusive, committed relationship, it's going to bother them if they hear someone ask the same thing, even if it's not back to back to back. But in their mind, they're keeping tabs. You've asked this question now 3 times. Yeah. You've said this 3 times now. So 5 times. We've had 5 different conversations around this. What are you talking about? Yeah. And so if that's the case, they don't even realize it's a trigger, but it is. And that is what takes person B from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And they don't even know it.
And so now I put myself in person B's shoes, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what would make me want to say no, or what would make me want to kind of spin cycle it? Because if you're asking me something, then that means clearly that you want to be with me, right? Because we're not an item like how you would want me to be, or how we should be an item in your mind, right?
Right.
So then what would make me not want to give you a direct answer? Now I got to go to self, because it's not really you anymore. It's me. Do I not want to be locked down for real, but I don't really want to lose what we got? however we've been kicking it, whatever, situationship, whatever it is. Am I not where I want to be? So I'm really internalizing what you're saying as I'm not confident that I'm going to be able to uphold my obligation to you. But I don't want to let you know that either, because I'm going to be too vulnerable and I'm going to feel weak. And I don't want you to see me as weak. You see what I'm saying? Because if you got all of your ducks in a row, it ain't going to be hard to say, nah, you just not on it. But you really want to say, yeah, but there's a reason why you're not saying it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at, because I'm just looking at it from my standpoint, and I know every man is not the same, but the foundational elements of a relationship are pretty much the same. Yeah. They got kids? No. Okay. So it ain't no other parties pulling coattails or they have to put their energy elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As far as like the love goes. Yes. And the constant attention goes. So I'm just seeing it like that could have been a thing. But although if that is a thing, it should be verbalized. If we're being truthful. And that's the part where it's hard. People they can be truthful, but not all the way truthful. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a bout of inauthenticity. Yeah. If you can't be fully truthful, then you're not being fully yourself, which means you're doing a disservice to yourself, but also to the other party that you're involved with. Mm-hmm. And that allows for misdirected emotions, because here's the thing too, all that anger that is displayed, that was displayed in that particular situation, really was probably at the very, very root of it, not anger, it was fear.
Well, that's, anger is the thing that gets you out of the situation. Mm-hmm. It's the body's fight or flight response, right? Right. And so in that situation, yeah, the real emotion is buried underneath. Anger is just the effect of everything. Yeah. That's why I said, if you're not confident that you can uphold a relationship, but you don't want to let the person down, that's complete cognitive dissonance. And so you can't explain it. You don't know how to verbalize it without seeming weak. Mm-hmm. Right? So what does that do? It makes you mad. And so now it comes out that way. Why you ask me this shit anyway? Because now you feel challenged. Yeah. But the real challenge is the fact that you just can't get your thoughts together and get down to the point of the truth. Right. So you make the other person bear the brunt of it all, when really it is a self-accountability thing. A lot of this shit goes back to self, man. I'm telling you, when you really unravel it, yes, it goes back to self a lot of the time.
Yeah. So when we're talking about what it looks like, we talked about, the story, gave you the story time and what it looks like to even have a misunderstanding, because obviously there was a misunderstanding of what she asked versus how he answered. But there was also a place for the misdirected emotion. So while you're really under a lot of stress, possibly got all the things going on, maybe, you're feeling all of these things, you have all of these tabs open in your mind, you're probably really just afraid that something's going to fall. You're going to drop a ball or drop some balls somewhere. And rather than admit that, you go to anger. So it's the misdirected emotion of anger being delivered versus the vulnerable emotion and base and rooted emotion of fear.
Yeah. And so again, when you have all of those elements lined up in front of you, you then have all of the puzzle pieces or all of the cards where you can make a decision. This goes for men and women, right? When you're dealing with a person who can't respond directly or maybe go in depth as to why they came to the conclusion that they did, if they're not willing to do it, you can take that as like, okay, well, I want to have a relationship where I feel protected. And that's the thing that makes me feel protected, when someone can kind of delve in just enough and give me some insight. So if they can't do that, then I'm not going to feel protected in a relationship. So it's a no. We make it so hard on ourselves, because we're always looking for the external validation for what we want or don't want. But in reality, you already got it. You just not looking. Or
don't want to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you just dismissing
because you
it.
want a certain thing.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not hard, but this comes from self-work though. Yeah. This comes from self-work for sure.
Yeah. And that's really the bottom line, the solution in all of this. When we are driving things home, we're going to bring it back to self. Number one. Number two, we are going to always invite you to think about it a little deeper in a situation maybe that you have encountered, and see how that works, how you can work that into your life. So we're looking at emotional intelligence. Where's your emotional maturity? And we're looking at personal accountability.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the situation from your end versus only looking at it from the other person's, what you want to blame on the other person?
Yeah. And shout out to person A and person B. I'm wishing that, whatever is in the alignment for you all, whether that's y'all get together or you mutually agree to separate, I hope that everything is done amicably. And that you all are better from it, from meeting one another. And if you choose to move forward in life together or not, I hope that you somehow clear some things up for you, and that you are learning more about yourself and have learned more about yourself from the relationship, yo.
Yes.
And that's for real.
Yes. We don't send prayers out just haphazardly.
Nah. Not at all.
We actually do.
I'm all about the unity though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when you start, it's slippery slope sometimes. So just whatever's in the alignment for y'all, man, I just hope that you all align with that,
Yes.
And that's that.
Well, I think this was a wonderful topic to talk about.
Cool.
We always going to bring it back to self. We hope that you got something from it. If you have questions or comments, make sure you leave them below. Again, we want to hear from you. We want to know how you feel about certain things. We like to keep conversations going on in stories, right? Online, on our social media. We like to keep them going on these videos. We like to keep them going on our audio only platforms as well. So if you didn't know, we like to talk.
Yeah.
Or at least I do.
For sure.
Now comes probably my favorite part, our favorite part of the episode, Book of the Week.
Book of the Week.
Book of the Week. So I do have this book in my possession. I just don't know where it is right now, so I'm going to read online. This book is called The Body Keeps the Score. So
that sounds dope.
Yes. While we are feeling all the ways that we're feeling, keep in mind all of the experiences that you've had, and just know that your body is probably keeping tabs on all of that. Not even probably, it is.
Ain't no probably.
So The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. This is the book. It's by Bessel Kolk. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Mm-hmm. And so this book is, I'm going to just read a little bit of the synopsis. Trauma is a fact of life. Veterans and their families deal with the painful aftermath of combat. 1 in 5 Americans has been molested. 1 in 4 grew up with alcoholics. 1 in 3 couples have engaged in physical violence. Dr. Bessel Kolk, one of the world's foremost experts on trauma, has spent over 3 decades working with survivors. In The Body Keeps the Score, he uses recent scientific advances to show how trauma literally reshapes both body and brain, compromising sufferers' capacities for pleasure, engagement, self-control, and trust. He explores innovative treatments from neurofeedback and meditation to sports, drama, and yoga that offer new paths to recovery by activating the brain's natural neuroplasticity. Based on Dr. Kolk's own research and that of other leading specialists, The Body Keeps the Score exposes the tremendous power of our relationships, both to hurt and to heal, and offers new hope for reclaiming lives.
That sounds like a spin on ancient practices.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Something that we have been delving in over the last few years together, a lot of ancient practices. So not that we don't go by, more Americanized practices. We still got to go to the doctor. We still got to talk to people, here. But we definitely believe there is truth 100% in holistic healing and ancient ways and modalities of healing from all cultures. And so we are in full commitment to finding the best ways naturally first, and then utilizing our Americanized versions of healing. But this book, The Body Keeps the Score, definitely something that I have on my list of books to read. Like I said, I have the physical copy. I don't know if I have it on Audible, but we both are going to take a stab at that. So check it out. We'll put that link to the book in the description below so that you can grab a copy for yourself.
There it is. Shout out to LG with the book of the week.
Yeah.
I always love those, man. We might need to let you just do them.
Me do all of them? Yeah. You got some good books
I do be
too.
having some good books.
He be having some good books.
But I read a lot.
You do.
And so because I read a lot, it's not like books are at the forefront of my mind, but it's in those moments, right? Only in moments where we're having conversation or something, something from a book that I read will pop up, and then it'll be like my brain reading it in the background, like reading the page and whatever. So, but no, I got some books for y'all too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of them may be a little controversial.
Ain't no little. I mean, shit, truth is gonna be what it is.
Yeah, but when you're searching for the truth, when you're looking for the truth, there's always some controversy, right?
For answers.
Yeah.
To guide you to what the reality of things are. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all, yo. YouTube viewers, podcast audio listeners, yo. Thank you so much for your support, rocking out with us. Man, I'm really appreciative. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative of you, right? And us doing this together. And even in these tough times where it just kind of feels like the whole world is heavy, we hope that you find some light.
Yeah.
And we hope that we can help you find some light in your situation. So yeah, check us out on all streaming platforms, right? We're all podcast stream, actually. Shout out to fan base, of course. Shout out to YouTube. And shout out to you. Tubing us.
You can find him at
samwalkerinspo.com or Sam Walker Inspo on all platforms. You go to my website. You can pick up a copy of my first published book, my children's book, our ebook, which is centered around wellness from juicing, the juice life, and some other products as well that are on the way, some partnerships that we're closing on as well. So you can view all that information on samwalkerinspo.com. And for the wifey, they can find you where?
Well, don't forget also, you can follow the Can I Talk My Shift Instagram page for snippets and clips of all of the episodes. So if you are behind, please go back, check out some of those episode snippets, and then check out the actual episodes. You can find me at TheLG_ on Instagram. You can also find me at Live, Love, Work Well on Instagram. That is my page for people pleasers looking to ditch the no and learn how to say no with love, ditch people pleasing, and still maintain healthy relationships so you can live, love, and work well. I have an awesome freebie on how to say no. I know some of us struggle with that. I know I have in my life. But if you want to learn how to say no with love and still maintain all of your relationships, go to sayknowithlove.com. And that's where I am, all on the internet. And yes, we are looking forward to tuning in with you next week. This is a week for a lot of people to be off, spend time with families, be safe out there. Okay. Be safe and get to where you need to get to safely and get back home safely.
For sure, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in like always, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Later.